Might get going then.
Might take what I use. What else have we got here? Got a little blob on the screen that makes it look like I've got a mole on my chin. Oh, bubbles. I remember these. Hello. That's why a live feed, because it's been heavy on my mind that I haven't been on in ages. So I'm just messing with all the rubbish. This rubbish settings. So here we got. Oh, we got 11 people already. Hello, everyone. So I am doing a live feed. Duh. In the caravan. I decided I'd do it in the caravan because I'm going to miss the caravan because the caravan's been sold at the weekend. Those of you who watch my live feeds previously will know that I was living in the caravan for a while at my mum's house, and yeah, I've been inside for a while. Inside? That sounds like I've been to prison. I've been inside the house for a while, and yeah, the caravan's being sold. So we kind of had the caravan when we were kids, when my dad was alive. We've had it about 11 years, and yeah, Dad's not with us anymore. Like, passed away, and we just don't really use it. So I've used it a few times to go like Cornwall and places, but I think it doesn't really justify having it sat on the drive. No, we're not really using it, so he's going to sell it. Yeah, so what's new? I thought I'd do a live feed now because lots and lots of things are new. If I did one every week, I don't know if there'd be a lot to share. Maybe if I got into a habit of doing it, there'd be a lot to share. But I kind of feel like I'm really busy in the week, so as you can tell, I'm really tired all of the time. So I got new hair. Took out my dreads because many reasons really. So the hair's really long, really long, and they're naturally curly, which I didn't know about. All this time, past 30 years of owning my hair, I always just thought it was really frizzy, but it turns out that when you brush curly hair, it just goes frizzy. So I just don't brush it anymore because we've got rubbish internet. Alright, the internet's down. Here we go. Bloody rubbish internet. Oh, can you just somebody write something if you can see me here, because it's the iPad is telling me that the internet's reconnecting, but then people are writing, so I'm not really sure what's going on. I'm just going to check my okay, yeah. So oh, here we go. Can you see me now? It's buffering apparently. We have really internet. At my parents' house, my mum's house. So yeah, I'm 30 years of age. In case you didn't notice, it's a shock to you. I'm gonna cancel this live feed, and do you know what I'll do? I'll see about turn the internet off and back on again. Internet off. How's that? Are we live? Are we live? You have really rubbish internet at my mum's house. Are we live? Yeah, so I don't even know where I was at with whatever it was I was saying. Live. So, new hair. I took my hair out. You probably wondered why I took my hair out. Sorry, I'm distracted. My brother's outside walking the dogs. So, why I took the hair out. So, first of all, I was getting an achy neck with what I thought was the weight of the hair. And one of the reasons. One of the other reasons was I'm not travelling anymore, and I don't need to have dreads in anymore. I don't need to have when you've got dreads, you don't need to wash them so often. You don't need to straighten your hair. You don't need to blow dry your hair. And I can do all that now. I don't live in a van at the moment, so I've got the luxury of having hair dryers, straighteners, access to a shower. So yeah, I took them out, and actually my hair's really healthy and really, really long. So I brushed them out. It took me about 2 weeks to brush them out, and I've got like a massive bag of hair that come off my head. It's like 5 years worth of hair that was just matted in there. Yeah, I'm kind of glad I did it, but sometimes I feel a bit boring. Kind of wish that. Sometimes I'm like, oh, I wish I'd kept them because it was so easy. I can wake up in the morning, just tie them back, and it's done. But with like hair like this, you kind of have got to, I don't know, like style it and do things with it. But it is what it is. What else is new? I had a brace. I think last time I was on live, I had a brace, and I've had them taken off since, so they're gone. Nice straight teeth now. Whee! Also, on a happy, sad note, I have rehomed Bruce. So, I cried about that, but at my mum's house, Bruce was living in, most of the time, my mum's kitchen, because mum doesn't really like the dogs all around the house, so we spent a lot of time in the kitchen there with my mum's dog, and in the garden. My mum's got a relatively large garden for the place where we are. The place we live in, just in an estate of houses. My mum has like a relatively large garden. I mean, you wouldn't have a garden that big anymore in these type of houses, I guess. So I decided to go ahead and rehome Bruce, but I will see him often because I have rehomed him, and he's living with my boyfriend's family, and they live on a huge farm in a huge house in Cornwall. So he gets to the beach all the time. He gets to like go running in the woods all the time. I mean, they have a big pond there. They say it's a pond. It's actually like a friggin' lake. So he gets to go and run and swim in the lake all the time. And he's got sheep there that he plays with. There's horses there. There's other dogs. And he's tired all the time. Whereas when he was here, he was always wanting to go out and he had loads of energy. And I just felt awful. So happy, sad. Bruce is living his best dog's life in Cornwall now. So yeah, I'm kind of happy in a way because he was an orphan. He was abandoned. He was stray when we found him, and he could potentially be dead now. But no, he's living his best dog's life. He's really happy. I went to see him over the bank holiday weekend, so this weekend just gone, and he is so happy. He's minus his balls now. He doesn't have any balls anymore, which is pretty sad. He just kind of has this little floppy sack between his legs. It looks awful, but I'm sure that will shrink. Yeah, so that's new. What's new with you guys before I sort of go off on a tangent of what's new with me? Just kind of spread it out. What's new with you guys? I see there's 16, 17 of you in here. Usually we have a bit more, but as always, my boyfriend yeah, usually it's a bit more, but as always, my lives are impromptu and I don't announce them. I just sort of arrive. Like, hey, I'm live now. You've not seen me in months. Here I am. Surprise. Boondocker's Bash. Oh, Boondocker's Bash. That sounds good. That's like boondocking. I think is like the American term for sort of like wild camping, living in your van. I think boondocking. I recognize that face. Oh, I got a new tattoo. Did I show you that last time? This chap. Maybe I had that last time. I'm not sure. I can't remember. But I got a new tattoo. So the tattoo. So I suppose I could talk about the tattoo. The tattoo is hand poked by a lady who lives in Shropshire, who I know that does hand poking tattoos. And since I was 16, I've always had like a contraceptive rod in here. I get it changed every 3 years. And where's your video mark? What's a video mark? You've stumped me there. Yeah, so I always had these contraceptive rods, and I get them changed every 3 years. And I decided that I didn't want to be on a contraceptive rod anymore. Um, so basically, it lives underneath your skin, and when it's time to take it out, they cut you with a scalpel, take it out, and put in a new one. And I figured if I got a tattoo there, that if I wanted to get another one, I'd have to ruin the tattoo, so I wouldn't get another one. So I have a tattoo on this arm, a tattoo on this arm, so therefore they can't put any more contraceptive rods in me. So that's the story behind the tattoo. And anyway, I like to promote. Yeah, I guess I like to promote and support sort of independent artists. And this lady is an independent artist. She works for herself. And why the hell is Coronation Street on the television? Let's turn that off immediately. Crikey. My brother's been in the caravan and he's put a television in here, and he's put the telly on, and it just happens that Coronation Street's come on, and I have never watched that programme in my life, and I don't want to start now. No offence, if you watch Coronation Street and that's your bag, like, cool, but it certainly isn't mine. What have we got here? History of Scotland. Brilliant, we'll watch that. Yeah. So that's new. Tattoo. Bruce has been rehomed to a good home where I'll see him a lot. New hair. So today. So at the moment I spend a lot of time, I'm at work most of the time, and then I come home, and then maybe I'll go to the gym, maybe I'll do boring stuff like washing and stuff. And I decided I wanted to make use of my spare time, so I've decided to retake my GCSE maths and English. So that might sound a bit weird. But yeah, I've decided to retake my GCSE maths and English because I feel like I like learning. And yeah, I don't know, I just feel like that's something I took for granted when I was at school, and I kind of wanted to see if I could retake that and sort of empower myself to. I mean, maths is good. Even if I didn't get a job out of it or I didn't get anything out of it, at least like I can use that in life. I can use it. Need to know about like finding the area of a place and all that stuff. So it's relevant to everything. And English is good because, you know, I do a lot of writing online. I like to write. If I post stuff on Instagram about my new makes or what I'm up to, then I'll write about that. And it's not going to harm me to do this thing. It's free. So if anyone out there wants to retake their GCSEs, if you live in England, you can do it for free at a few colleges, and I'm not sure what establishments do, but if you Google it, you will find somewhere. And it doesn't harm to do it. It's free, and yeah, why not? Why not do it? Why not enrich yourself? Why not learn something new, or learn something that you neglected to learn when you were younger? So I have this massive GCSE maths book, and I'm thinking, like, how the hell did anyone's 14-year-old brain comprehend any of this stuff? So, yeah. But yeah, van life. Let's talk about van life. I've got some plans. I've got some plans. So I've been saving money. So I've been working my ass off and saving money. My brother's staring. He's such a funny guy. I wish I could get him on camera, but he won't. Yeah, I've been working my ass off, and I've been saving like a trooper. And I have come to the conclusion I want another. Like, it is killing me. Like, it is killing me. All I ever think about is like, I will buy another van. I will buy another van. I'll do it. I will fucking do it. I will fucking buy another van. So I'm gonna do it. I can't not have one. Even if I'm not gonna live in it, I feel like I can't not have one. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna buy one, but I'm gonna buy one that's already made. I can't like, reconnecting, seriously, internet, right now, just as I'm getting to the interesting bit, you're gonna do this to me. Okay. We wait for my internet to reconnect. Fibre optic, my anus. It's not fibre optic, it's worst. Hello, testing. If you can see me, if I'm live, then give me a sign. If I'm not, then I guess you won't give me any kind of sign. Let's see what we've got here. on the internet, and I can't even do YouTube Live. It's weird because I could be in the middle of nowhere and just use my 3G when I was like in Portugal, and now I'm on actual Wi-Fi and it's rubbish. And I've actually cancelled my iPad contract because I finished paying it, and I didn't want to just pay to have data on my iPad because I don't really ever use the iPad, only for like YouTube Live. I kind of wish that I didn't right now. I kind of wish I still had the contract. Anyway, so yeah, I want to buy a van. That's a brother just zimmering off in his car. So yeah, I want to buy another van, but I was thinking rather than like self-building my own, because I don't think I could self-build my own camper van and like have the time to do it. And yeah, I just don't think I could do it on my own. I'm going to be straight up, and I just don't think I can do it on my own. I seriously do not think that I could buy an empty van and have the time and the knowledge and the know-how alone to do a self-build conversion. If I did it, I think it would look pretty, but it wouldn't be very functional. So I was thinking I would buy a van, maybe like over the winter perhaps, or next year. And I don't know if you've seen like is it the Fiat Ducatos, or yeah, so they kind of look like the shape, but they're like coach built, so they're like already made. I think you can get some that are auto sleepers, Fiat Ducato, and the Renault Talbot do one, something like that, something small and convenient and doesn't use up too much fuel, and you can park it in lots of spaces, but isn't as small as like a day van. So like I know you can get like the VW vans that are quite small, and they're like they're designed for the weekends and stuff, but I think that would be too small. I'd like to be able to stand up. I'd like to get an I'd love an ex-ambulance, but depends if they come converted already or not. I really just could not imagine myself having the time to, or the knowledge to convert one. I just couldn't. I couldn't do it. I'd get so confused, like with wiring and like have I done the insulation right? Because when I know, like me and Dave converted our first van and it was functional. We lived in it. It was great, but there was one time that I sort of stuck my hand between the ceiling and the roof cladding, because there was a point where you could stick your hand in to the insulation, and one day the insulation was sopping wet. I kid you not. It was absolutely soaking. I think with like condensation from our breath or whatever from cooking. This one particular day, pretty chilly day, it was sopping in there. It was awful. I mean, the flue around the fire leaked when it rained hard. Mother trucker. So although we could live in the van and it was proper cute, and I absolutely loved that van to bits. Like if I could have that van back, I definitely would. It wasn't the best, and that was with us both doing it. So if I did it on my own, I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. I wouldn't want to sort of waste a lot of money and time trying to find out that I couldn't do it potentially. So I'd rather like spend £5,000 or so on a van that I knew the insulation's not going to get soaking wet, that I knew potentially didn't leak, and that I knew everything was already plumbed in and ready to go. Perhaps I'd have to put my own like solar panel on and stuff. But internet, come on, you can do it. Come on, internet, you can do it. I'm only brush a grape right now with this internet. So if you can hear me, give me a thumbs up. If I'm live, let me know. I'm gonna check in with this damn thing here. Let's put this. Oh, I'm gonna read what some of you guys have want to trade. Bit glitchy and a bit buffering lots. Hey, Bossy, hope you well. Live. Gotta sell the locks. You look great even as a normal. Hair looks better now. Let's see you. Back. Sorry, I'm reading some of the comments why the internet is buffering, because I have a feeling that pay a fortune for this internet. My mum doesn't. It's just rubbish. I don't know who the provider is, but they need to sort their act out. Or it might be the fact that every single one of the dogs got Netflix on inside. Swift. Yeah. So yeah, am I still reconnecting? Let's try this again because this is not good. Has anyone got me live, or am I still buffering? Because it says reconnecting, but I don't know whether that means it's full of rubbish or whether it actually is reconnecting. How boring to do a live and then just have to be buffering the entire time because it's the 21st century and the internet can't get its act together. The internet is so pathetic. Yeah, so I think I'm live. So if you've stayed and you've bared with the internet and me, well done. You've made it to the next level. Yeah, I know buying a coach boat won't mean no problems, but it means that I don't have to go through the rigmarole of converting it myself. Anyway, so the idea of me buying a van, even though I might not live in it, because what I might do, but some things have changed, and I don't want to buy a house. I still don't want to buy a house, so yeah, but I will. I do want to buy a van. But we'll see how it goes. I want to buy a van anyway. So the idea is that I wanted to buy a van because I absolutely, when I'm away, like I've been to France recently. I had 2 weeks off work, and I went back to France via airplane this time to see my friend who lives there. She lives on like the French-German border in the north, and I went there for about a month and a half before I came back to England. So if you have me on like Instagram, you'll know where I mean. By the way, if you don't have me on Instagram, you can find me on Instagram as boho on the go. So it's like boho underscore on underscore the underscore go. So yeah, if you have me on Instagram, you'll know where I mean. And whenever I've noticed when I was there, like whenever I'm traveling about, or whenever like I'm in nature, or by a lake, or by a river, or in the woods, or just out, feeling that sort of outside freedom, like I did when I was in my van. So like I could be in my van and still feel all the space around me outside of the van, and it made me feel really creative, and it made me come alive, and it made me feel inspired, and I just wanted to like pour my freedom out in the form of like creation. I wanted to write, I wanted to draw, I wanted to craft, I wanted to create. So the idea is that I wanted to have like a mobile art studio, that I could have this van and it could have all my craft stuff in, it could have all my yarns in, it could have all my leather scraps in, it could have all my beads in, my paints, my flower press, everything. It could have all that kind of stuff in. Now I can work and just get in my van with Buster and go off to like the nearest lake or woodlands or wherever, and I could just craft, I could write, I could draw, I could paint. And because I've tried it, like in my mum's house, I've sat there at the kitchen table and I will craft, but it doesn't sort of flow out of me like it does when I'm outside and when I'm closer to nature. I don't know how that works, but it does. And I always feel like there's been a few times recently when I've been out on a walk and like, oh, I really wish I had my craft stuff right now so I could just like crochet. So like I'm having all these ideas. I'm feeling like the nature is inspiring me, like the colours, the textures, I don't know, it flows out of me. So that was the idea. I wanted to have a mobile craft studio that I could take anywhere, because I think having a static crafting area is really entombing in some ways and not as inspiring. So I'm noticing that a lot of people have left right now because someone has just mentioned about the audio being crap. I am so sorry, my internet is shit. Yeah. So can anyone confirm whether or not the audio is out. I need to get better at this live feed stuff. I've actually recently bought a digital SLR, a Nikon. I have a Nikon D3000, and just recently I had like some nectar points, and the eBay was doing a deal, so I managed to get this Nikon D3200, and that has video on it. Like my old camera didn't have video on it, except when buffering now and again. I'm sorry about the buffering. I really should like get my mum to invest, or I should invest for my mum some internet that works, because this internet's awful. Like when I'm sat inside and I'm trying to go on Instagram and stuff, like it won't let me go on it. The internet's that crap. What? That was whoever just posted that comment was a bit weird. Talk to me like what? Talk to me like a 6-year-old girl. That was confusing. Let me just read that. Hey, talk to me like a little girl, like 6-year-old. I don't know what that means. I'm gonna bypass that comment. Do you want me to talk to you like you're a 6-year-old girl, or do you want me to talk like a 6-year-old girl? Because I certainly am not talking like a 6-year-old girl. It's a bit weird. If you're a bit of a perv, then yeah, maybe this isn't the chat for you. Okay. Yeah. So what do you reckon? What do you guys reckon to the mobile art studio idea? What do you reckon to that? I mean, I might get in it and go, do you know what? Fuck it, I'll live in it. Fuck it, I live in it. What do you reckon? I think it'd be too tempting. Like if I bought one, I'd just be like, maybe I can quit work now and just screw life altogether and go back to band living. Yeah. I mean, also I've not seen pretty fine. But what are you called on Instagram? On Instagram I'm called boho on the go, so it's like boho _on_the_go. Boho on the go. That's my Instagram. And also like, yeah. So I have my Etsy link on there. I only have like 4 things on there at the moment. And the idea is I'm going to get rid of all those 4 things soon. I'm going to like raffle them off or something. And then I'm going to use my new camera. I'm going to take pictures of all the new stuff that I've made and put on there. So like I've got some bags and necklaces, and I've got a bottle holder because I have recently discovered leather. When I was in France and Germany a couple of weeks ago, I went to a market, and it's a market I went to last year. So it's a huge market in Germany. The place is called Homburg. So it's not Hamburg, it's Homburg. And they have once a month, I think it's like the first Saturday of the month, they have this huge Flohmarkt, so it's like a car boot sale. And someone was selling some scraps of leather, like little scraps of leather, and they were 50 cents, so I bought them. I thought, yeah, I'll try them. So I bought those, and I really want to make some stuff. So I've made a bottle holder, and I've used the leather for a strap, which is, I've got a picture on my Instagram, but I've actually, since I took that picture, I've reworked it and it looks a lot better. And also when I was in France / Germany, I did what I did last time with my friend, and we went abandoned house hunting, and she's on like a forum, and they have like lists of all the abandoned houses, and they sort of share addresses, and we went to this amazing abandoned house, and there's a picture of me on my Instagram sort of in the bathroom, in the living room there. It's really cute. And then we went to another one, which was like, I'd like really decapitated. I don't have any pictures of this other one. It was like really fallen to bits, and it was just full of stuff. It looked like if you could light a match in there and it would go up no problem. So we went up into the loft, and in the loft there was like just bits and pieces and some like stuff wrapped in newspaper. It looked like it'd been there like 20 years. So I opened some, and there was a few balls of white cotton yarn, and I was like, oh my god, like, do I take them? Is it rude if I take these? But nobody wants these, they've been left here, they're abandoned. So I took a couple of the balls of cotton yarn that I found, and some buttons. I found some wooden buttons, so I'm going to make some things out of those. Like, I really like that when I go travelling, that I find things to incorporate into my crafts, and then like when I craft something, it has a story. So like the bottle holder I made, the yarn is from Portugal, and I remember we went to this mountain, and we come down from the mountain, and there was this like, they have like loads of China shops in Portugal and Spain, and there's this one China shop, and they have this amazing sort of gold coloured twine. It's not actually gold as in metallic, but it's sort of like that gold hue cotton yarn, and I'd never seen it anywhere before, so I bought this reel of it, and I made a few things out of that. And then I've got the leather, and which is also from travelling and what have you, and yeah. So everything I make kind of has like a little backstory, which I think is kind of cute. So yeah, it would be nice to carry on sort of like travelling, or at least having a van and crafting. So that would be great. I feel kind of boring right now that I'm not actually living in a van and nobody really cares. Nobody wants to watch my YouTube because I'm not van girl anymore. But I want to be van girl, and I'm kind of like a little bit wary of that. A little bit sort of, would I feel vulnerable in a van on my own? I'd try and get in, and like I know I'm overthinking this. Like no one has ever tried to get in our van before when we've been in it, and yeah, no one's ever like, Liam. YouTube live without Graham. Hey, yeah, sorry, I never ever post when I'm going to do a live, so if you don't catch the live, you can always rewatch it, I guess. Yeah, I'm just trying to think of all the things that are new that I've been up to since I last did my live, and like the longer I leave it, the more stuff I've done. Like I took my hair out, and I've got my braids off. I've got a new tattoo. I've rehomed Bruce to somewhere really nice. We did my GCSEs maths and English a couple of weeks ago for a few weeks. Went France, Germany, Cornwall, Wales. Trying to really cram everything in whenever I get time off work. Like the weekends are super packed, bank holidays super packed. Like this bank holiday I was in Cornwall again. Yeah, but I think it's really important right now that I definitely am in employment, because I can really replenish the bank account. I mean, I don't like talking about money. No one likes talking about money. But my goal was to earn £10,000 so that I could do something with that, like buy a new van, sort a few things out. So that was the goal. So like right now, like that's what I'm doing. I'm heading towards my goal is to earn £10,000, buy a van. Are you still with the fire? Oh yeah, I'm still with the fireman guy. Yeah, I really like a really nice relationship. Like they've got so much respect for one another, and like that's fairy tale like, and yeah. And now I feel like I have flex me, and he really respects my space, and he respects my independence, and he can't do enough for me, and it's just really refreshing and nice. Like I genuinely feel happy in my relationship, and it's really weird. Like it's such a strange feeling. Yeah, it's nice. I feel emotional like speaking about it. So let me tell you a little bit of story about the fireman guy, and before I met the fireman guy. So I don't have my journal on me right now, but I have a little journal. When I was in Portugal, I stayed for a month and a half with this lady on her land. This was like sort of when me and Dave had the first sort of fallout, and then I'd met this lady, and she was like, "Oh, well, if you're arguing, you can come and stay at mine for a couple of weeks." A couple of weeks turned into a month and a half, and yeah. And I was talking about how my relationship wasn't good anymore, and she was asking me what I wanted in a relationship, what did I want in a relationship, and she was like, "You have to write a letter to the universe. Like you have to let the universe know from the heart what it is that you want from a partner, be it a man or a woman. You have to write a note to the universe, stating kind of stuff." So I'll go with it. And she said, "You can't write on it things that this person can't be. So you can't write that they're not a smoker. So, but if you did want someone who didn't smoke, you'd have to write something like they had clean lungs. Does that make sense? So you have to write a positive list of things that you would like your partner to be, or to the characteristics you'd like them to have. Anyway, with a little help, I commenced to write a list of things that was like 2 A4 pages long of things that I saw in my ideal partner. So that was things like they like cooking, they're financially independent, and they can, things like they can drive, so they're not going to be dependent on me for driving. Things like they're passionate, they've got clean lungs, they're healthy, they like to be active. Yeah, those loads got back. Yeah, it is a wish list. So like, it is a wish list. It's a wish list to the universe to manifest someone into your life that fulfills 99%, if not 100% of those things on the list. And if they don't fulfill 99 to 100% of the things on the list, want to find a partner. Like, I was like, I'm happy on my own now. I've had enough of men. They can all fuck off. I don't want to be with anyone. I just kind of want to do my own thing. I want to sort my own life out. And I want to get on with it. And they say, when you're not looking, that's when people turn up, right? So I was working at the hotel. And then all the girls there seem to like be on Tinder and stuff. And Tinder's something I really don't like. I'm like, I don't want to go on Tinder. It's full of serial daters. It's full of people that just want to hook up for sex. It's just really not my thing. Like, I've always met partners who are like out and about doing stuff. Like, I met Dave when I was camping, and all my other boyfriends I met doing stuff. So they were like, oh, you're single, just go on Tinder and have a laugh. Like, I was like, no, it's not I was adamant, I'm not doing it. And they're like, we're all on it. Exactly. Tinder is exactly. I'm still not pro Tinder. This was just like a weird thing that happened. So they were all like, yeah, come on, go on Tinder. Just a laugh. Like, just see what idiots are on there. It's really funny, like, listening to what they say to you. And stuff. I was like, fine, I'll get a Tinder. But I even wrote my Tinder, like, I'm not looking for anyone because I won't be able to hold down a relationship because I am definitely going back off travelling. So basically, my Tinder was pretty much like, do not talk to me. I don't even want to be on here. Anyway, so I was like, flicking through it. Flicking no. And then I saw this picture of a guy holding a girl above his head by her feet. So like an acro thing. To me, it looked like acro. It looked like a silhouette of two people doing acro. And I thought, ooh, I like acro. So I put yes. And I carried on. No. Then like a day later, I get like, hey, we matched. How are you? What's your name? Where are you from? And there was this guy. I hadn't even looked at his profile. I hadn't even looked at naked attention. So I hadn't even looked at any of his other pictures. I hadn't even read his profile. And this guy with the acro picture was just talking to me, really nice, really normal. How are you doing? What's your name? Where are you from? Like, literally nothing cheesy at all. It was just like one person talking to another person. And I thought, oh, this is not what I thought Tinder was. Anyway, I had matched with a couple of other people. Like, I don't know, there's someone with dreads I'd matched with, and they was like, I don't know. And they were talking to me, and they were being a bit sleazy, like, oh, you look like sleazy, like, you look like my type of girl. You look like a sexy one. Oh, do you want to meet up? Like, yeah. I was like, ooh. Anyway, there's this guy that was talking to me, the one with the acro picture, and it was like really nice. And I was like, do you know what? I'm going to delete Tinder. So do you want to like talk to me on WhatsApp? Because I kind of don't really want it. So I got talking to him on WhatsApp, and then I finally like went on his Facebook. It turns out he was mutual friends with one of my friends from Wales, who it turns out he went to school with, and she lives in Wales and he lives in Cheshire, but they both went to school in Cornwall. And I thought, if there's anyone that knows that girl, they can't be a bad person. So we met up at the gym, and he is and was the most lovely person I have ever met. And like, he said he'd been on Tinder for a while, and like he'd had some really, really horrendous like dates that he'd been on. And I was like, oh my god, how could anyone like be horrendous on a date with you? Could you just like the sweetest guy I've ever met. Anyway, so that's my Tinder experience, and that's how I met my fireman. And he is like the best thing. Anyway, so the list, there's like one thing on the list that he doesn't comply with, and that's the fact that he's not vegetarian. But he totally is cool with the fact that I'm vegetarian, because it means that he can eat my food, but I can't eat his. So like if we're having a meal together, like he'll like, oh, you eating that? No, and eat it. But when he's got stuff, I'm like, ah, oh, it's got meat in it, can't eat it. So he's like totally cool with it. So yeah, and I kind of feel in a way that like he couldn't be any more perfect. Well, he'd be like traveling in vans, that would be perfect, but he couldn't in every other way apart from not being vegetarian, which doesn't really matter, to be honest. He couldn't be any more perfect. So I kind of feel like when I wrote this list and I let myself be open to the fact that I wasn't looking for anyone, that the universe put this person on my path, because like he is so supportive and he is so calm and understanding, and he's a gentleman. Like, oh, I don't know, it's nice, lovely. Anyway, so yeah, that's my story about meeting my new boyfriend. So yeah, he's from Cornwall, and that's where Bruce has gone to live. Bruce has gone to live with his parents. And Bruce is having the most amazing dog life right now. I'm kind of jealous of where Bruce is right now. So yeah. Do you guys have any interesting sort of hookup relationship stories? Or, I mean, has anyone else been on Tinder for a start? Like, what's your experiences with Tinder? Because that was my only experience with Tinder, like the only date I went on. And that's like the only real date I've ever been on, actually. I don't think I've ever like met someone and gone on a date with them, like sort of thinking like, oh, this could be a thing. Let's go on a date. Yeah, I went well, really. I got lucky there. Yeah. Can it feel like sometimes life is really crap and you go through these really horrible troughs where you just feel like you're never gonna climb out of the bad period? Not being on my wife would kill me. I love reading the comments. Yeah, and then sometimes you feel like you like, how will I ever get on this one? Like, I feel like there's no way out, and everything looks dark and dreary and disgusting, and then suddenly life throws you a curveball and you're back on top again, which is really nice. Yeah. So I think someone wrote something on the internet today about someone they knew had sort of committed suicide and they didn't know that they were in a bad place. And I get that sometimes when people do that, like they take their life because they feel like they can't get out of a bad place. And I kind of feel like that's understandable. But sometimes I kind of wish that these people would just wait a little longer, just hold in there, just wait, just like hang on a bit. Like the good times are coming. Like the ride is on its way back up. Like ride it out, because good things are coming. Like when it feels like there's no light left, you will begin to see the end of the tunnel at some point, and the light will come back around. Like you can't have the highs without the lows. You just can't. And life is always teaching me this. Like when I lost my dad, like I thought that I would never, ever, ever in a million years get over that. Like I thought that was it. Now that's the end of it. That's the end. That's the end of my life. How can I carry on? I wanted to be dead at some point. And I continue to have points like that where life just goes, and I'm just like, oh my god, I wish it would end. And then life goes, no, hold on a minute, it's on the way back up. So that would be my message. If there's anyone out there that's watching this that's feeling sad, and they feel like there's no sort of light at the end of the tunnel, believe me, just hang in. It's coming. It's really, really coming. Like, don't give up on me now. Don't give up on me now. It's coming, honestly. There's so much you can do to turn things around as well. I mean, when I was coming back to the UK, when I was in France at my friend's house, and I knew like within a few weeks I'd be heading back to the UK. I was so depressed. Like I cried for days. Like I did not want to come back to the UK at all. Nothing about me wanted to come back to the UK one bit. Like I just felt so horrible. And to sort of get over that sort of depression that was setting in, I learned a new skill. So I carried on my crafting, carried on my yoga, and I learned also to juggle. I crocheted myself 3 juggling balls and filled them with rice, and I learned to juggle to keep my mind occupied, to sort of keep me going. I got on with it, and I'm back. And I was so depressed when I got back. What the fuck? But I just got on with it. I cleaned out all my stuff at my mum's house. I sold all the stuff that I didn't need anymore. I replaced all the things that I'd lost, like so I'd left some stuff behind, and I needed new clothes because everything was fucking vile from travelling. And I just sort of totally refreshed and renewed myself and got myself back on top. And then obviously I had my crash remote. Moss the van, that didn't go through, and I felt like that's it now, life's over, that's it, game over. Like I felt like I couldn't trust anyone, and then it goes back up again. That's just how life works. So yeah, like right now I feel like I'm in limbo. I'm at my mum's house. Like I can't live on my own. My boyfriend lives an hour away. I want to live in a van, but I don't want to buy a house. I just kind of feel like, do I buy the van? Do I live in the van? What the fuck do I do? I feel like I'm in limbo, but I know that this won't last forever. Like this period that I'm in right now will not last forever. It will change. It will get better. Because I'm constantly striving to better myself. Move in with him too soon? Maybe too soon. Like we've not spoke about that, so maybe it's too soon. I don't know if he's ever lived with someone in that way before, so maybe it might be a bit too soon for him. But I'm sure if he's ready at some point, he'll mention it. So buy some land. I would absolutely love to buy some land and live in a van or a static caravan. I've lived in a static caravan before. I love it. I absolutely love cozy little spaces. Yeah, maybe I could buy some land, but where? Like, the thing is, if I'm going to buy land or buy a property, I need to know it's going to be somewhere that I am happy with. Like, where I am at the moment, the town I'm in at the moment where my mum lives, I could not envision myself buying land or a property here because I just do not like it at all. I do not want to be here for the rest of my life. So if I was going to buy property, which is pretty fixed, it would have to be somewhere that I was 100% about. Also, do you know what's been worrying me recently since being back? The realisation that when I'm old, I am going to need something to fall back on. So I have started up like 3 pensions. Well, no, I got my state pension, which everyone has if you pay into national insurance. I got my pension at work, and I've also got a private pension. So I'm like drip feeding those as well. Like drip feed those because like when I'm older, I just want to know I've got a little bit of something. Just want to know I've got a little bit of something. So that's sort of like in the background, and like it can't be bad. It can't be bad. It can't be out of a pension, surely. Like I don't want to be working, and if I'm not working, struggling after 55, 65. I kind of want to know that okay, I don't have to work anymore. I'm old lady, or verging on old lady, and I can just sort of chill now and do my crafting and relax. So yeah, that's what I've done. And it would appear to me that we've crashed again. Have we crashed? 7 years, and I've come back with nothing to show for it apart from lots of amazing memories, and I've learnt a lot of stuff, but like I'm having to work my butt off now to save again. I'm so tired all the time. I am so tired. I don't want to be this tired until I'm 65. Just don't. So yeah, I don't know if I'm working or not on that. As far as this live's going, I don't know if this live is working. So yeah, I'm just checking my phone. If you can see me, if I'm moving, can you give me a sign? Can you give me a thumbs up? Can you see me moving? Can you hear me at least? Because it seems to have crashed. Audio, but the image is frozen. Okay, so I'm going to refresh it real quick, but I'm going to get off in a minute because I need to do a few things. Like I need to... How boring. I need to get some things ready for work in the morning. Oh, boring, boring, boring.